person one at a time, right? Because there's a lot that, respectfully, okay, I think there's a lot of parts of that are garbage, right? But I don't want to say something at the whole rock, and we have to do small rock pebble at a time, right? So also this motherfucker can laugh over here. You see it next to me, Los Polos. He's laughing, but he said you were trolling, so you were joking 100%. Right? He's holding his tongue right now because maybe he's gonna be right. But he said you were wrong 100% about this, and so wrong that you were joking. So I don't know why he's holding his tongue right now.
What did I do?
I'm just saying.
It's a very particular scenario, right? You have to understand that the scenario in which I would take 100% is a very, very particular one. In general, when I had my business, and I know you're saying that they only made money for me, they made money for themselves. I turned girls. I would actually sit here and say, as the biggest misogynist on this panel, I've turned more girls into multimillionaires than any of you. I've made girls multi-millionaires. This is 10 years ago at the beginning of all this shit, before OnlyFans, when webcamming was new. I took girls from Starbucks and made them millions and millions and millions of dollars and paid them fairly, never missed a single paycheck.
Okay.
I'm as feminist as you can get. Now, yeah, I got
like I said, I don't. Okay, no disrespect once again. Okay, I just feel like this is like the type of argument that goes like, I have 3 friends that are black when making certain comments or whatever. So I don't. Unfortunately, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
I don't get mad at you.
Okay. Well, respectfully, I think that is genuinely the same vibe, energy comment, right? Oh, I can't be against women because I helped 4 or 5 of them. Oh, no, I'm not against women because I made a couple of them millionaire or whatever the fuck, right?
It's not about being against women. I'm saying that the whole was a net positive for both me and the females. So you misunderstood my point. You think I'm making a different point, and that's why you've come to that conclusion. The point I'm making is that everybody who worked for me won. The only person who lost was the guy sending his money away online. That's fine. But for everyone who was associated with me, it wasn't exploitative because you made it sound like I only did it for me. No, the women who worked for me also made millions of dollars. Everybody who was associated won. Everyone won. All of them.
Yeah, for business activities or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't talking about that at all. All I meant was, okay, fuck it. Let's just skip this tangent we're on. Let's just go back to the main argument you said. So I have more of a stake. So you think that in a relationship, you have a certain stake on your partner's income based on what that income comes from.
Well, depending on how they make it, absolutely. I think that in a relationship with a woman, if the man is with that woman, the main reason he knows he's with her is the fact that she is sexually exclusive to him. If you're with a woman and she's fucking everyone, are you even with her? No. How do you know she's even yours? Because she only sleeps with you, right? Well, if all of her intimate parts are now for everybody and they're purchasable, then I think you have a stake in said parts because those parts belong to you. She gives them to you when she decides to be human.
So there's a price that you're taxing your loss of privacy.
That's a way you could put it. I mean, personally, if my woman were to come to me and say she wanted to do OnlyFans, I'd just say no because I'm not.
Okay. Then.
But example.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, respectfully, let's have let's try to upscale that discussion and see what kind of stake would you need for your girl to suck another guy's dick.
I would never tolerate that on any level. So that's too far. But
there's a price for the pictures and the loss of intimacy. Correct. For me, it's a black and white thing.
Chat, for $1 million.
Once you lose a certain amount, you can lose more of it.
Would you let your girl suck a dick?
I understand what you're saying,
or no?
But to me, it's not black. Because pixelated pictures on the internet are very different than sucking an actual dick. So I would never let my girls be prostitutes. None of the girls who ever worked for me ever prostituted. I've never associated with a prostitute. I don't associate with porn stars, none of that kind of shit. But I had very wholesome girls with pictures of their titties on the internet 10 years ago who made themselves millionaires, yes. And now they are happily married with somebody or whatever. Or some of them are still with me. It doesn't matter. But I was never like getting girls to prostitute or hardcore pimping along that line. I use the word pimp because I had a lot of women who worked for me and they were all beautiful and it sounds cool. But truthfully, I don't even really see myself in that regard. I think I'm less of a pimp than most corporations. The girls who work for me, 50%. You don't get 50% of the cash register when you work at McDonald's.
Okay, people can be pimps and companies can be pimps to a certain level, right? Which has anything to do with you being a certain level of a pimp. I think if your girl is doing something, an activity of her own will, I feel like taxing her that's being a pimp, like quite literally. You are pimping at the wazoo. Yeah, you are pimping.
I understand, and maybe you've never had the kind of relationships I've had with my women, but any woman I'm with decides to, by her own free will, submit to me because she sees me as her intellectual superior. She sees me as her life superior. She looks up to me and she respects me, and she sees me as And for that reason, if she were to come along and say, do OnlyFans, and I said no, she wouldn't do it. But if she insisted on doing it, I would sit here and say, look, I'm unhappy with you doing this, making a bunch of money off of parts which are supposed to be intimate only for me. If this is going to happen, I need to have some kind of compensation for my unhappiness. Yes. And she would understand and she would pay me. But this is not a scenario I need to be involved in. This is just a hypothetical, right? But all the girls who worked for me, they were not romantically involved. They were girls who decided to make a bunch of money and they came to the best in the business, which was me.
So you would be okay with then paying them for their discomfort in other areas then? That'd be something that you're open to?
Sure. I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, I think that all men do naturally anyway, right? Let's. I understand your point you're making, so let's extrapolate on it. You're saying that if I do something that they're unhappy with, I should give them money. Well, the point is, I think that all high value men do that naturally anyway. If you take a billionaire on a boat, naturally,
it's kind of indirect of a term. It naturally is more indirect and more like intended, right? Since for you it's transactional and intentional, then in this example you have to use the same framework for that example. Same framework as to be agreed upon. So let's say I don't want to be too gross right now. You're with a girl and you want to do something. You're okay with it, with the thing of saying, okay, well, I kind of want to do that. I'll give you 10K.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think it works exactly that way, but I think that all men, especially high-value men, are already in a transactional relationship to some regard, and that's not a bad thing. That's natural human nature. And the point I'm trying to make is that if you're a truly high-status male, if you're a billionaire with a yacht and you have 10 girls on that boat, the woman who's in love with you is going to let you fuck 9 other women in front of her because she gets to be on a billionaire's yacht. She gets to go to private islands. She gets to not have to work. She gets to run around on jet skis and take Instagram pictures. So to some degree, are you not paying her for her compliance? To some degree, are you not rewarding her for her being in a situation that she's not completely happy with? That is natural human nature, and all high status males do it.
Okay, as much as I would agree with you,
bro,
that would
cut him off, bro.
That would be a part of something, right? Part of some sort of fulfillment, right? I would like my partner to be fulfilled in all the ways that I like to be fulfilled in a relationship. If a girl's only with me because she's fulfilled in this money way, but she's lacking on a bunch of other shit, what's the point?
So let's swap the hypothetical. Let's say you're in love with a woman, she comes to you and she decides she wants to do OnlyFans. What do you say?
Okay, so I've had a lot of things about OnlyFans before. A lot.
Bro, answer the question.
I personally, just because I think it's just gonna kind of annoying. I wouldn't go into it knowing she's doing it.
So
right?
So if your girl came to you and said, no, your girl's not already on OnlyFans, you're with a girl and she's seen OnlyFans online, she decides she wants to start, she comes to you and says, I want to become an OnlyFans chick. You're going to say, yeah, go for it. Don't give me a penny. Go for it. Get rich. Show your titties. That's going to be your answer?
No, I just say, this is kind of annoying. It's an annoying thing. I don't fully agree with it, right? So it'd be kind of cold. It's cold. I don't like it.
Well, this is the point. So I think it's you're and I understand this is really interesting what Train said earlier about internet language, because when you make a point, you have to be very, very careful with what you say. It's almost like politicians speak, but you're saying it's annoying. I wouldn't like it. Well, I'd say you're not allowed. That's what I'd say. I'd say you're not allowed to be on OnlyFans if you're my girl.
Okay.
And if you are here.
Okay. Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is that I don't like it, and if it escalates to a point, I guess I would break up. But that's not like the I don't think that's the main point though. What does that prove? I think it's just lame. It's generally lame.
Hey, all right. So the point I'm making here is that it's a situation that most men don't want to find themselves in. They're completely in love with the chick, and she decides to do OnlyFans. We're in a hypothetical situation. Saying I'd break up with the chick is a boring answer. So assuming you have to stay with the chick, that's the parameters of the question to make the question interesting to answer. My answer is that I need to be paid for her to be doing OnlyFans. That's the answer in the hypothetical situation. Your answer in the hypothetical situation is it's kind of annoying. I don't know.
There are parameters to this. Yeah. There's a bunch of parameters around that. It would be like, I hope she's not doing it because of lack of fulfillment in certain ways in our relationship, because that's a fucking problem. I wouldn't want my partner to go to places because she's craving a part of something she isn't getting in our relationship. As long as nothing takes away from a relationship, right? And the framework remains the same, then I guess it's kind of chilling. But that's kind of how it comes to OnlyFans, because people do it for a lot of reasons and a lot of other ones. So it's kind of do
you mind me asking you a question? How old are you?
26.
Okay, let me blow your mind, young man. Women love men they respect. And let me tell you this, and this is natural, this is evolutionary, it's biological. This is why women have certain even basic things like height, right? They're designed to be attracted to it evolutionarily because they respect larger men because they're more likely to be better at fighting. They're better warriors. Women fall in love with men they respect. Not even men they like that much. It's men they respect. Men they like are their friends. Men they respect are the ones they fuck. And let me tell you something. If a girl were to come to me and say, I am intent on doing OnlyFans, and I would say, I'm uncomfortable with you doing that. I don't want you doing it. She says, Andrew, I love you, but I'm going to do OnlyFans no matter what. I would have to put together parameters and a framework in which she still respects me as a man, or we're over. It's not even about the money. It's about the fact that you are my woman. I love you, you love me, and you're going to show me enough respect as a man that if you're going to get naked on the internet, you're going to at least reward me in some way. There's not going to be all these men paying you money and you making a bunch of money on the fucking side sitting in my house without me getting shit, because that is disrespectful. And I would not allow her to disrespect me, not just because of my ego, but because of her own innate ability to not be attracted to somebody that she doesn't respect. If you were to come along and play things your way, if a chick were to come to you and say, I want to do OnlyFans, you would say, well, I don't like it. It's kind of annoying, and she started doing it, she would fucking leave. The girl is more likely to stay with me taking all her money than she is stay with you keeping all her money. And that may not make sense to you, but one day you will understand.
Okay. I'm going to fire back at you and just say that whatever my relationship is lacking, whatever amount of respect that I'm losing, and whatever amount of privacy that I'm losing, you can't put a price on that. You can't revert that with money. You just can't do it. I want to feel fulfilled. And what fulfills me is that my partner is fulfilled, and we're both on that like equal mindset, right? And you can't exchange that with money in a transactional way. You just can't. It doesn't matter the amounts. Doesn't matter. It does make me fulfilled. So if the partner can make up for it, whatever they're doing that they're lacking, and they're kind of like reverting it somehow towards me, I guess we can find some sort of compromise, right? But it wouldn't be about money or be transactional money wise. It just wouldn't.
Brother, life is transactional, my friend. And to sit here and pretend that because things are transactional means there's no emotions involved isn't true. Life is transactional. If I'm completely head over heels in love with a woman and I love her with all my heart and I'm ready to take a bullet for her, it's still a transactional relationship. She still provides things and I still provide things that satisfy both of us. You do not sit here and stream for free. Life is transactional. So to sit here and pretend that things shouldn't be transactional is asinine. That's not the way the world works. Every single thing in the world is transactional. Even if I give money to charity, even if Train gives this lady who's massaging me 100,000, he's doing that, one, for clout, two, because he gets to feel good about himself. It's not pure charity. He gets to win too.
Actually, wait a second. No, I gotta say something. It's not for clout. If you look me up, I'm actually hated and everything's justified that I do, but it is for the feel good. I get a high from it. The same high I get from gambling, I get from giving. My dick gets hard. So that's transactional, but it is not for clout. I don't give a fuck about it. Just trust me. Do a little research. It is not the clout part, but it is the high part from feeling good. Continue.
Bro, it's the same with me. There's Romania has an orphanage problem. A lot of orphans. Every single Christmas, I go down to the orphanage with the Rolls Royce, give 100 grand, whatever. Am I the fucking nicest man in the world? Well, yeah, but also I feel good. I feel good for doing it, right? Yeah. So life is transactional. So to sit here and say things shouldn't be transactional is asinine. That's not a right paradigm. You must view the world in a transactional sense. The world is transactional.
Yeah, but you're being a little bit obtuse, though. You are deliberately obtuse about what the nature of how we use transactional as a term. You're just saying, oh, it's all transaction. Yeah, of course. Then everything in life, if it goes one way, it comes back the another way. That's transactional. So everything is. But that's not how we use the word transactional. Transactional is more of not an indirect. It's more of a direct thing. I'm doing this for that, right? That's how we normally use transactional. The way you're saying is just, it's an exchange of brain chemicals. I'm doing this and I get this brain reward, right? As an exchange. That's kind of that is obtuse.
Fine. Let me change the way I ask you the question, right? Because what I'm actually, and once again, you're only 26. You are smart. I can see you're smart, but you're 26. So if I were in your position and I had disagreed with everything that Andrew Tate had said, and Andrew Tate was going to come on a stream, first I'd have a list of everything he said I disagree with. You don't even have a list. So you haven't been very professional about your approach in this. You don't even know most of the things I've said. You're just saying this about, it's all very general. So in future, please.
Say that again. Sorry about that. I was fucking distracted by bullshit.
Fine. In future, make a list of all my points you disagree with, so we can be more systematic in our approach.
The problem is that you're a gish galloper. You're a professional at it. You're really good at doing it. Gish galloping, you do it dang, 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 and then it's kind of hard to catch up because once we talk about something, it's already too late.
Cool. Well, let me tell you what you're doing, just so you're aware. If I walk into NASA and I say that going to space is too expensive and too dangerous, and they say, well, yeah, I agree with you, and I say, okay, this is bullshit. And they go, well, what's the alternative? And I cannot present an alternative. That does not make me a fucking physicist. That does not make me an astronaut. That makes me a jackass. So if you cannot propose a better alternative, then you have no point to make. and this is the point I'm making with you. The parameters of the question are you're in love with a woman who decides to do OnlyFans. You can't break up with her. And I have also added another parameter. You want to retain the respect and the authority in the relationship. You think that taking money in said situation is completely unreasonable and unfair. Fine. What is an alternative which is superior? And if you cannot name one, then it is the best of a bad choice. It may be an unfortunate situation, but it's the best move in a bad chess position, and you must still make the best move. If you have a better move to make, I'm open to hear it. But if I'm in love with a woman, and I'm not going to break up with her, and she comes with me, and she insists on doing OnlyFans, my answer to retain my control and my respect in my relationship is for her to pay me. That is my answer. If you have a better one, my ears are open.
Okay, like I said, whenever somebody does OnlyFans, it's because there's what does that come from? Like, it can be a lot of things of why they would do it. Only money or some sort of fulfillment or whatever, right? Some sort of fulfillment, right? If they're doing it because they're lacking something in the relationship, they're taking something away from the relationship, yeah, that's a fucking problem. I guess break up. If I'm that uncomfortable, I'm not gonna put a price on that. I'm not gonna be fulfilled in something and spend my entire life with somebody and be committed. There's no price you're going to pay me to be deluded that we're at the same level of commitment. Break up. End of story. No alternative. One alternative, break up. If you're that uncomfortable, I will not put a dollar amount on that. I will fucking break up and move on. And the fact that you can put a price on your lack of commitment or whatever you think you're liking, because if they make it OnlyFans,
it's not about the money. It's the principle, chat, right?
X, what he's saying was a hypothetical. He said in a real normal world, it's like, no, we can't. No OnlyFans, we break up. It is what it is. What he's saying, there's no breakup in this scenario. No breakup. What is the alternative of the transaction?
No, I said break up. That's the alternative. You fucking break up.
X also
it's hypothetical though.
Also, X, he's saying it's not about the money. It's the principle behind it.
His hypothetical is no, like in a situation where you guys aren't breaking up, and it's just you need some. What are you gonna do instead?
I have hundreds of millions.
I said broke up. Break up.
Cool. Okay. Well, the point is, I have hundreds of millions of dollars, and if my girlfriend did OnlyFans and made $2, she would pay me my $1, and that's because it's principle. It's not
principle. Yeah.
Okay.
Bro.
Yeah. Still fair enough, but you can't. In my opinion, that the nature of that behavior of putting a dollar amount because of some lack of whatever the fuck
about the
is
fucking
stupid.
money.
It's an alarming logical conclusion. It's just bad.
What else about me do you find alarming?
No, I'm just saying it's alarming. That's it.
Okay. What else about my views or things you've heard me say or my attitudes or my life approach?
Oh, my girl can't go out. That's fucking alarming as shit.
My girl can't go out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's discuss this.
Discuss it.
All right, cool. So I take my girlfriends out all the time, right?